Okay, thanks so much, Chandrashekhar. Yeah. So in every phase of life, we face different challenge. We have to do certain role. Sometimes the Toastmasters meeting, we have to do a different role. We have to give speech or we have to act as an expo. In our real life, we might have to work as an employee, sometimes as a friend, as a family. Every time we are playing a role or a role. But do you know what is the important thing about improv? Saying yes. No matter what the challenge that we have, we always say yes. And that is what we are going to see in this meeting. What is improv? With that being said, I welcome you all to another exciting program at 319th number chapter meeting of Toastmasters Club of Pune Northwest. I am Toastmaster Abhishek, the Sergeant for today's meeting. I am an engineer profession at Robert Bosch and I love coding, swimming, and reading books. The mission of the club is Toastmasters Club of Pune Northwest provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me explain some rules for today's meeting. Please turn off your cell phone or set them to silent mode if you are not using them to join the call. Please mute your microphone unless it is instructed by the Toastmaster of the day. Please keep your video on unless you have issued the bandwidth. Microphone and video option are button left or not of the Zoom window. Kindly refrain from movement that distracts the speaker. In case you need to move, please turn off your video in advance. You can use emoji, clap, and thumbs up to react throughout the meeting. For example, during the transfer of control or in the use of word of the day or phrase of the day. For the role play, especially for the speaker, it is advised to pin the timer window so that you can see the timer throughout the meeting. When you begin speaking, the correct protocol is you have to greet in the following manner. Madam President, Toastmaster Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. And lastly, and most importantly, maintain a broad smile throughout the meeting. Now, being a part of the culture whose one of the value is Atiti Devo Bhava, in our Toastmasters meeting, we always respect our guests. So let us start with the round of guest introduction. Do we have any guests in today's meeting? Please come on the stage and introduce yourself. We'd love to know more about you.
Hi, Akshara, would you like to introduce yourself? Akshara, can you hear us? Would you like to introduce yourself? I think there could be some internet issue. Shravya, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi. Very good morning to each and everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Mohammed Afzal. I'm so sorry that my bandwidth is a little bit low. That's the reason I'm unable to turn on my camera. Okay, so I am from Nellore district, Andhra Pradesh. Currently, I am working as a HR manager in Anand Group. So I reside in Pimpri Sodagar, Pune. So prior to my coming to my education background, I have done bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering. Post that, I have worked in Infosys for 4 years. After that, I did my master's from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, specialization in HR and organization development. So yeah, so that's recently I got married and I'm staying here in Pune along with my family. So that's all about my side. Thank you so much. I hope to be meeting you all very soon.
Welcome, Mr. Mohammed, and we will make sure that you will enjoy today's meeting. Toastmasters guest, do you want to introduce yourself?
Did you say my name?
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Myself, I'm Shravya, and I just wanted to attend the meeting. Nothing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Shravya, and we are glad that you are in today's meeting. Any other guest? Guest Aksara, would you like to introduce yourself?
I see guest Akshara is there, but I'm not sure whether they are able to like connect. Akshara, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, good morning. I'm Akshara. Basically, I'm from Jammu, and right now I'm in Pune. I'm doing my internship. Coming to my educational background, I have done BTech in biotechnology. Then after that, I'm doing my MBA from MSU Gujarat, specializing in HR. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshara, and we're glad to have you in our today's meeting. Do we have any other guest in the physical meeting?
No, Abhishek, we do not. We will proceed.
Okay. Thank you so much. And again, I welcome all the guests in today's meeting, and we will make sure that you will enjoy today's meeting. But if you want to enjoy the meeting to the fullest, well, there is one person who is going to help you. Let me introduce the Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting. Toastmaster of the day is someone who is going to be your host. I request you all to please pay attention to him so that you can understand the meeting format. Our Toastmaster of the day is someone special, and also for the other members, it don't need much introduction to him. He has been the part of the ASCOM multiple times. He has given speeches in multiple places. He has participated in so many contests. And who else to know more about Toastmaster than our experienced person? Let us welcome Toastmaster Chandrashekhar to stage. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek, for such a wonderful introduction. Even I was not knowing these many facts about me. Good morning, Madam President, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. The theme is improv, not improve, but improv. How many of you know what is improv? Any hand raises? Do you have any idea what is improv? Improv. Random. Yeah, you can say random. Any other cases? What is improv? Toastmaster Mayur?
I feel improv is something that which you can do random things at random time. It will be more like a comedy where you can just have to express yourself anyway, anyhow.
Thank you so much. So, as told by Mayur, improv is a form of comedy. No, I am not a stand-up comic. I am really bad at using humor. But if you really want to work on your communication skills, if you really want to work on your humor, and as we all know, there is an upcoming contest coming. The contest name is Humorous Speech Contest. So it's not about being always funny, but putting the fun in your speech. So in order to work on that, you can use improv to work on your humorous skill. So today we will be trying different improv games, and we will try to use humor as much as possible, not forcefully, but let's see how it goes. So the first game is pretty simple. It is not actually an improv game. We used to play it in the school, we used to play it in the college, and we used to play it when we were together. So let's try that same game. And most of you know about this game. So with me, I have a couple of chips. And in the chips, there are some phrases, some words, and maybe some dialogues written. So what you exactly have to do, once you come on the stage, you have two options. But you cannot speak in both the options. First option is that somehow you tell the people to guess what is that word, what is that phrase, or what is that dialogue is, and they will try to guess it using just your gesture. Second option is you try to draw it on the board, and then you get to know about it. So do we have a volunteer? Yes. So do we have a volunteer? Yeah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Abhishek, I want to lift up a chip. Just and then oh my god! So the first tip is actually a Bollywood dialogue. That is your tip. So Toastmaster Abhishek, you have to act in a certain way so that the people would be able to guess what is that dialogue. You can't speak, but you can do anything as you want. I hope you know this dialogue. If not, this is one of the most iconic dialogue in the Bollywood. So let's see.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
You can't speak.
एक चुटकी सिंदूर
Not exactly right, but yeah, the answer is correct. So, Abhishek, you just read the dialogue for us. Now don't just read it. Do the dialogue.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I hope you are one part of that Abhishek. So I have a couple of more tips. There could be a dialogue, there could be a word, there could be a phrase, and you just have to enact or maybe try to draw it, but you can't use the words. So do we have any more volunteer for today's meeting? Ashutosh.
I thought we should have guests.
Yeah, we will take guests also, no worries. We have enough things. So let me open it.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, this is a cute one. So I don't know how do you enact, but people have to guess what it is. You can't speak, but you can enact in any way. So it's a phrase we usually use. Hopefully I use. I'm not sure about other guys. Yes, Ashutosh. You can keep it in your hand.
I love you. I love you very much. I love you very much. I trust you. I believe you.
I believe you. I believe in myself.
It's a phrase, right?
Yeah, it's a phrase.
3 words. 3 words. I love myself. I trust myself.
No.
Third.
I count on you.
You.
I,
You're pretty close, guys.
I have.
I'll pray for you.
I miss you.
Oh,
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh. We will be continuing the game further, but let us move on to today's meeting first. Today's meeting is divided into 3 sections. The first part is called as prepared speeches, where speakers deliver their speech based on certain objectives. The second part is the fun section, or which we call as the table topic section. And the third part is the heart of the Toastmaster, which is called as the evaluation section. So let's continue with the first part, but in order to do this meeting very effectively, we need some role players. And today we have some tremendous role player doing role from the club as well as from the online world. So let me first call upon the timer for today's meeting, who will be explaining the role of the timer. So over to you, Toastmaster Tulsi.
Thank you. Thank you, TM Chandrashekhar. Good morning, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and dear guests. I am timer for today's meeting, and I will explain what a timer does. Timer ensures the track record of timing of a speaker when speaking on the stage. I will do this by flashing green, yellow, and red card. In every Toastmaster meeting, a speaker is allotted a minimum and maximum of time. For ice-breaking speeches, it should be 4 to 6 minutes of length. And other speeches, it should be 5 to 7 minutes of length. Green card will be flashed when the speaker reaches to its qualifying time. Yellow card will be shown when the speaker is in the midway of minimum and maximum allotted time. And red card will be shown when the speaker has spoken for the maximum of their allotted time. For a red card will be flashed when the speaker maximum time, and a grace period of 30 seconds will be given if the speaker go beyond the allotted time. 30 seconds of grace period will be given to wrap up the speech. For table topic masters, it should be 2 minutes of length. I will show green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. A 30-second grace period will be given for table topic speaker 2. For the evaluation section, it should be 2 to 3 minutes of length. At 2 minutes, I will show green card. 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will show yellow card, and 3 minutes, I will show red card. I will present my report towards the end of the meeting. This is the end of my report. Thank you. Back to you, TMOD.
Toastmaster for explaining the role of timer. Time is the most important god for me. So we have to keep track on time. Now the second role is the role that is being played by Toastmaster Abhishek. That role is called as R counter. So to know more about what is the R counter role, let me call upon the stage Toastmaster Abhishek.
Now I can speak.
Yeah.
Good morning, President, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and dear guests. My role I'm pleased to play the R-counter role today. So my R-counter role involves noting down the amount of filler words that we use during the speech. Filler words such as so, but, you know, At the end of the meeting, I'll present my report for the speakers. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. And can you believe, playing this improv game, I completely forgot the most important thing, the most important person. So let me call upon the stage the presiding officer for today's meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Minal, to give the presiding officer address. Over to you, DTM Minal.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, DTM Minal, you are visible and audible.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. And today's theme is actually in line with our concluding term as well as the meeting for the day. And that is improv. Because the basic theme behind this improv is improvisation. And as far as I know, and as far as our Toastmaster of the day has confirmed it, that it was a comedy series that started in the year 2012, and therein it has no script. Everything happens as per the audience feedback. So whatever the audience says, the people have to enact it on the stage hilariously. And this is how we say it is a people-driven program, improve. And that is what we can make it analogous in terms of Toastmasters. Something that is by the people, of the people, and for the people. And this is how Toastmasters has been running since more than 98 years, I would say. That is the secret of our success. And along with being a presiding officer for the day, I'm also playing the role of grammarian. So let me introduce the word of the day and phrase of the day. The word of the day, in line with the theme, is eloquent. Eloquent means sharp, elegant, and something that mesmerizes the person at the other side. I can give an example of this word like Toastmasters Club of Pune Northwest has a history of producing eloquent speakers. One of them is our very Toastmaster of the day. Then we also have Toastmaster Jay, Toastmaster Venkatesh, Toastmaster Ankur, and also our upcoming president, Toastmaster Abhishek. And there are many other eloquent speakers in pipeline, I would say. Now, let me get through the phrase of the day. The phrase of the day is a coon's age, which actually means long time, which was not seen much before, and we are again getting back to the track. I would like to exemplify it as India's performance in 2021 Tokyo Olympics came after a coon's age. Now, I would like to know from the audience as to who would like to try out the word of the day and phrase of the day. One example will do. Yes, Abhishek?
Anyone would like to try?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So from Pune, I have heard such an eloquent improv that made it talk of town.
Great. That's really great, Abhishek. Now, can we have an example of phrase of the day?
Anyone would like to try the phrase of the day? It's a very long name.
Coon's age.
Venkatesh would like to try.
India won World Cup, Cricket World Cup after Pune stage in 2011.
Perfect. That was great. That was Pastor Venkatesh. And now, with being a language evaluator, there would be other things to be followed as well, as would the tracking of the good usage of the language and not so good usage of the language so that we can improve upon it from the next meeting onwards. And I would like to encourage each and every one of you to use the word of the day and phrase of the day, and also give a thumbs up either in the virtual mode or the real mode to one who uses it. And herein, as you might be seeing that I am in transit right now and also a bit under the weather. So I would request my fellow Toastmaster Jay to also help me with this role of a grammarian, so that at the end of the meeting, even he can track the things, because I'm not pretty sure if the network goes off till then. So I would request Toastmaster Jay to take over as the grammarian as the meeting processes. I would also track it from my side. So over to you, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Nihal. I did not attend the physical meeting from last 2 weeks and it felt like a phone session to me. Now, let us continue with the meeting. There will be someone who will be keeping a bird eye view on overall structure of the meeting and will give us the critical feedback about today's meeting. So to act as a general evaluator, we have Toastmaster Mayur. So I would like Toastmaster Mayur to explain his role as a general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. Good morning, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. As a general evaluator, it's my responsibility to evaluate each and every role player. I will even evaluate the general meeting, how it is going to be happen, and at the end, I will come up with my report. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Mayur. So let us continue with the meeting. But before we start our first half, I want one person to nominate. So I would like you to come on the stage and and let us play the game one more time. So you can be energy. Let nobody. Okay, so pretty tough word. So you have to enact or just you can't speak. That is the rule. I will give you hint. It's just one word. That is the hint. Okay, that's great. That's the spirit.
Lightly bond. Fine. Tussle.
Bomb B.
D.
C.
Tussle.
C.
Fight. Sangeet जैसा ही कुछ है.
Water.
Flash.
Flash.
तुम लिखे बताओ.
C. Flash.
Champion.
Pretty close, I would say. Everyone is pretty close.
Schools.
Champion.
Okay, let me give you a hint. The word is related to the Toastmaster also.
Okay, how many words are there?
One.
No, words. Okay.
Letters.
All letters.
Letter, sorry. 6,
7.
7.
Champion.
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster is speaker.
C.
Yeah. So let's not worry, but you all are almost right. So I want you to reveal what is the word.
The word is contest.
Oh,
So as I said, it's like,
I was trying to get starting from the letter C.
yeah, but it was a really good time. We were almost pretty close. That's why I said like the word is bit abstract. But thank you so much for trying. I hope you enjoyed it. So let us move on with the first half of prepared speech. Every speech has certain objectives. That's why it is called as a project in Toastmasters. So before I call upon the first speaker, I would like to call upon the first evaluator of the speech. So let us welcome Toastmaster Venkatesh, who will be explaining the objectives of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, and fellow Toastmaster, and dear guests. Very good morning. The purpose of Toastmaster Prasenjit's speech is to learn writing various methods of speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech at club on any topic. I wish all the best to Toastmaster Prasenjit. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Venkatesh. So let us call upon on the stage Toastmaster Prasenjit.
Good morning, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I'm sitting here not because of speech, but because the fan is not working. So please bear with me. Right. So today's speech is about a very good topic, which is called demonetization. I think we all have gone through the pain of demonetization at some point of time, and so I am. I still remember the day with the year 2016. I think it was 8th of November. I was sitting at my home on a couch, having with a glass of wine, and suddenly someone gave me a call that Mr. Modi is there on the television network. I think that instance has become a history whenever Prime Minister comes on television around 8:30, 9:30 or 10:30. Everyone knows that something is going to happen. But that day I didn't know that what is going to happen. So I switched on the TV and he was talking about demonetization. Believe me, before that I was not aware what is demonetization all about. Okay, the story moving forward. So what exactly is demonetization? So basically you see, we use a lot of currencies. So demonetization was all about 500,000 rupees notes. So if you see any note, you will see the government, which is governor RBI, actually has some legal binding or obligation to say that I am obliged to pay the person of that note. So it's a RBI governor which says that I am going to pay this person. So demonetization basically was to make that obligation null and void. Why they did this? And what was the advantage? If you see, in any economy, there are a lot of currencies. That time it was expected that high denomination of notes, approx total up to 14 lakh crores. People that time used to say that there is a black money, illegal money, and it was expected that some form of money was part of this. The question comes, what is black money then? Black money is not a money which is black in color. Black money is not a money which is invisible, or black money is not a money which is part of Mr. India's family. Black money is money where you don't pay tax. Black money is money which doesn't have any account. How the black money is generated? Basically, the black money is generated as soon as you actually stop paying the tax or follow some corrupt practices to generate the amount. Corruption happens when you actually give someone the money outside the system, or you actually ask some undue advantage from someone. So when such thing happens, money actually flows outside the system and doesn't get passed to come back within the system. What does that mean? That means that the government of India loses the revenue and doesn't utilize that money in any of the productive work. Not only that, it has other big impacts as well. If you see, people use the black money to invest in unproductive assets such as gold. Everyone knows that. It can go into the real estate where the prices of a particular property would be very high than the registration cost. I have faced that. When I purchased the property, every day it used to take 15 rupees per square feet. That was in the year 2008. Now it has stopped. So if you see, the amount which actually gets outside the system doesn't have any productivity from government of India's point of view, and it's unproductive money, and government of India doesn't get any revenue out of that, and it actually doesn't use in any of the development work. More than that, the black money or that unaccounted money can be used for human trafficking, drug trading, and then there are a few other things like militancy. terrorism, right? So this all are funded by the black money. These are not white money. No one actually can fund this kind of activities by using black money. So all these things are being funded by using black money. So it was a very curtailing thing to stop the black money, and government of India did that at that point of time by on the back of demonetization. Has the demonetization happened before? Anyone?
Not sure.
Yeah, it happened in 40s and 70s, but probably we were not that knowledgeable to understand what is the demonetization. But we can use this particular instance to understand what is the demonetization. So if you ask me what has happened and what we have achieved out of that, if you see, there were a lot of hardship because of this, but it was a small price which everyone has paid for the country to take the next steps. It has been expected, or it has been observed, that out of 14 lakh crores, 1.3 lakh crores have been actually returned back to the economy as a white money. So government actually got that money back and probably managed to reduce the black money which was floating in the system. So if you see, when the money comes to the bank, because obviously the money comes to the bank will have enough excess of cash, and that can be actually lent to the people who actually need it. So that happened that time. Now, just to summarize this, if you see, with the demonetization, with the GST and CST in place, there is a very little chance. I will not say that there is no chance. Still, the black money is there. I am not saying that it has been completely taken out of the system. Still, the black money is there, but the chances to actually earn the black money is very less. Now, with this, if you see, we have taken another step eloquently to move forward to a economy which we are thinking by 2036 it will be 16 trillion economy in US dollar. Current economy is 2.3 trillion. Just reminding that how much we can go and put back into the economy. Thank you very much.
So much Toastmaster Prasenjit for talking us on behalf of demonetization. We Indians love black tea, black clothes, and black money also. But we have to make sure that some things need to go so that it would make our life colorful. So let us move on to the next speech. But before we do that, let us play the game one more time. So I would like the volunteer to come on the stage. Would you like to try? Great. Okay, it's a pretty easy one. Classroom.
Toastmaster.
Speaking. Program function. Cloud.
You can come over here.
Beautiful day. Sunny day. Holiday. So how many words are there? 4 words. And you are giving the speech for first word.
No, you can't.
For first word. For first letter.
It's only one word.
Okay.
And how many letters? 4 letters.
4 letters. Okay.
Class.
Room.
Lady.
Girl.
Class. Teacher. Teacher.
Student.
Let me give you a hint. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this word.
Class.
Classroom.
Class.
One word, 4 letters.
What's the first letter?
First letter is what? It starts with.
Okay, let's not hurry up, but she did a very amazing. So can you tell us what was the word?
Oh.
So it was the place Pune. Okay, as I said, I had enough things. So let us move on to our second speaker. So before I call upon the second speaker, let me call upon the interpreter for the second speaker, Toastmaster Swati, to read out the speech of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Swati.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. My target speaker, Toastmaster Ashutosh, will be giving the speech on the level 2 project, communication towards your style. And the purpose of this project is for the member to learn the different styles of communication and to identify his or her own style of primary communication, and even to update the impact of his or her primary style of communication to the audience. All the very best to my target speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swati. So let us welcome Toastmaster Ashutosh on the stage.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Ashutosh. Four friends, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Master Secretary Chandrashekhar. 10 years back, I was in my office, Bajaj Auto. I got a call that, hey, Ashutosh, can you come down to Pune? Your wife is admitted to hospital. I was kind of surprised now. Okay. Then I took a flight then and directly moved to Noida. Then I have been asked to come to the hospital. I went to the hospital. There, I have been asked to stand outside. And after perhaps 5 or 10 minutes, I can hear a noise of a baby crying. Oh, it was my baby girl. For others, it can be a noise. But what I have understood that she was communicating. She was communicating for the very next moment when she came out from the room of my wife. My dear Toastmasters and dear guests, I welcome you all to this Toastmasters meeting on the very good morning to you all. My project is understanding your communication style. So, what is communication is one part, and how we are communicating is another part. So these two things are entirely different. When we have the idea in my mind that I'm going to communicate to somebody, I need to know that, okay, this is the stuff that I'm aware of and I'm going to communicate. But at the same time, it's very important that we should know how we are going to communicate the same thing to my audience. My project is to understand my communication style. So we'll discuss more about my communication style. But before that, I wanted to introduce you to my friends. I have my 4 friends. So we'll talk about one after another. Can you mark it? It is there, right? So my first friend name is Derek D'Souza. So Derek D'Souza will come on the stage and introduce you. Hi, I'm Derek D'Souza, friend of Ashutosh. I always believe that whatever Ashutosh is going to speak, it should be direct and it should be result oriented. It should not be beating around the bush. I always want that whatever is going to communicate to somebody, it should be directly to the point, crisp and clear. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Derek D'Souza, for introducing yourself to the audience. Now let me bring on stage my second friend, who is Supporting Sharma. Supporting Sharma, can you please come on the stage and introduce yourself? Hi, I am Supporting Sharma. I am the friend of Ashutosh. I am with Ashutosh from a long period of time. I always support Ashutosh when he is kind of tired or he don't want to speak much because throughout his bowling days, if he is not in a good mood of speaking, but I always make sure that he is communicating well to the audience who is speaking. Thank you, Supporting Sharma. Let me bring my another friend, third friend. He is Initiating Iyer. It's part of my style. So Initiating Iyer will come on the stage and introduce himself. Hi friends. So I can see a lovely faces over here. I am Initiating Iyer. I am the friend of Ashutosh. And it's been long association when we and Ashutosh are talking to each other, trying to understand our audience. And it is not about just communicating. We have to build a good ecosystem when we are discussing to somebody. We need to understand our audience, what is their mindset, and but just because we are trying to just rather than speaking, we have to build a good environment over there so that we can be in our comfort zone and deliver our talk in a more friendly way. So I think I should always be with Ashutosh so that he will not miss out on even a single thing in a more friendly way, rather than just speak so much of specific things. So I hope Ashutosh should always keep me with himself. So until we meet again, bye bye. Thank you, initiating idea. Now let me bring my last friend. He is analytical Avasi. So analytical Avasi will introduce himself. Hi, I'm analytical Avasi. I'm Ashutosh student, and I feel Ashutosh should always keep myself with him. And for this, I am giving you 3 reasons. One, I never get over emotional. Two, whatever I see or whatever I speak is always backed by data. And third, that whatever Ashutosh is speaking, always it is coming from some back of the understanding. So it is always to the point, crisp, and backed by some good sound level of information. Thank you. Thank you, and Steve, for introducing yourself. So these 4 friends are nothing but a type of communication that we do practice in our life: direct, supporting, initiating, and analytical. So I wanted to understand from you which communication style or which friend I should always keep with myself. Any that idea or feedback from you? Yes, sir. Please.
All four.
For you, all 4 should be with me. Chandra, if you can tell me which friend I should keep with myself.
Analytical one.
Analytical one, okay. And Mayur, yes.
Initiating idea.
Initiating idea, okay. So what I have understood that sometimes it is initiating idea, sometimes it is analytical, and from Prasenjit sir, it is all 4. So we need to understand that to whom we are communicating, to whom we are discussing. We cannot fit our set of communication to our audience. So we need to understand what our audience mindset is all about. Whether they wanted to be direct, they wanted to be supportive, they want to be initiating or analytical. So it always depends our audience, how they are, what they are going to understand, what kind of system they wanted to be into. One size doesn't fit for all. So if our audience is like I'm in office, so I need to be direct. I cannot beat around the bush in my office. If I'm discussing in the Toastmasters factory, I'm going to be initiating so that entire system is working together and we are discussing to each other. If I'm tired, boring, or like I am kind of busy all the day, so I need to use my supporting style. And if I need to take some decision, then my communication should be analytical about key types. So whenever we are talking, we make sure that who is our audience, what is the system or scenario in which we are going to deliver our speech. Depending on that, we need to choose our communication style. I have gone through a questionnaire wherein I have to understand my communication style. So I got again mixed response. Majorly it was a direct, but we have understood now that depending on the situation, scenario, we need to choose our communication style. With this, I wanted you to also figure out what's your communication style. Thank you.
I thought it was just multiple personality disorder in the movie. Today we saw the person as well. So dear Toastmaster, let's move on to the next speaker for today's meeting. But before we do that, let me call upon the stage the evaluator for his speech. So let's welcome Toastmaster Jay, who will be introducing the objectives of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Jay.
Sure. Thank you. So the objective of the speech is, the purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body languages, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Speech length 5 to 7 minutes. Project effective body language. Thank you, and control back to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jay. So let us welcome the third speaker for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pradeep. Toastmaster Pradeep, can we have you on the stage? virtually.
Yes, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. So
Yeah.
Toastmaster Pradeep, how does Toastmaster matters to me? How does Toastmasters matters to me? Toastmaster Pradeep.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. So I request this recording should be closed for because I don't want.
So welcome back to the meeting. Now let us start the most interesting section of the Toastmaster meeting, which is more like dancing, but you don't know which songs to dance on. So to act as a table topic master, we have Toastmaster Nilesh. So let's welcome Toastmaster Nilesh on the stage.
Okay. One day, there was a guest who joined this club first time. It was virtually, and he was not aware about the sessions. On that day, table topping master came and announced his name as a guest and asked him to speak for 1 minute. And topic was given. That guest was anxious. He was not aware like what exactly he has to say. He wanted to hide somewhere. He wanted to switch off his video as it was virtual. Lot of nervous murkiness. Somehow he attempted that. It went well, but he was pretty upset. He thought that he is of having no work, and he felt that this is the time when he has to come up, he has to join the club, and he has to improve his speaking skills. Presiding officer, TMOD, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. My name is Nilesh, and I am that guest who attended the session few months back as a guest, but today I will be the table topic master for today. For the benefit of guests, this session is pretty much interesting, as TMOD said, because you have no idea what topic you will get, but at the same time, we have to give justice to the topic, but at the same time, it will be fun as well. Okay, timing. If you complete 1 minute, timer will show you the green card. If you complete 1 minute 30 seconds, timer will show you the yellow card. And if you complete 2 minutes, timer will show you the red card. But still, you will get 30 second grace period. Okay, so let's start with this interesting session. Anybody would like to volunteer? Most difficult question, I guess. Now we wanted to hide ourselves.
You can take. I'll take Venkatesh question.
Yes, please. Okay, Toastmaster Venkatesh is here.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
So topic for you is real learning doesn't occur in a classroom. Real learning doesn't occur in a classroom. Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nilesh, table topic master today's meeting. Real learning doesn't happen in the classroom because we all think that the classroom only provides a lot of learning and teaches us that to teach us. And that is, I would say, a myth probably we are carrying, saying that the learning is always happens within the four walls of building, but that is not a true case. We learn a lot of things when we move out of the classroom, because practical learning can be learned only when you jump into that. And it is not about the theoretical learning, somebody is telling you to do this, or it is a one-sided communication wherein teacher comes and says that this is what I am going to teach today, and you are listening. I would say you have to go one step ahead to learn few things differently. And even in the Toastmaster, I would say it is not about the script which is written. For you, you have to go one step ahead to perform your role in a much better way. Especially if you are taking a TMOD role or even a table topic role like Toastmaster Nilesh, you have to bring an innovative ways into the meeting, which will make a meeting a much beautiful, or much impactful to the audience. An audience would feel really enjoyable and they can enjoy the meeting. That's all. Over to you, Toastmaster Gilesh.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Prasenjit. I think indeed I totally agree with you. One line which I really like about this particular speech is it's not always about scripting, it's about going beyond that and giving proper justice to that particular topic or that particular activity. Okay, great. Anyone else would like to try? You can begin. You can begin. Okay. Yes, please. Hello. Okay, topic for you is peace is possible. Peace. Peace is possible. P-E-A-C-E. Yes. All the peace. Thank you.
Peace is definitely possible, but not possible. Not possible. Via wars is what I would like to first start with. Because people definitely think that if you want to acquire a piece of land or a piece of something, you need to first do it via war and then acquire it and then have a peace. But I don't think that is right. And little difficult for me in this for the first time also. Yeah. I mean, and I'm so sorry. I'm going blank about it.
Give any example if you remember.
I cannot articulate my thoughts around that. No reason I'm unable to speak.
You can share any example if you remember.
Related to peace. Okay. Difficult. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Try. Okay. Let's move ahead with the next volunteer.
We can advocate also.
Okay. So the topic is my biggest concern for the future is. My biggest concern for the future is Toastmasters.
So good afternoon, everyone. So my topic is my biggest concern of the future. I would like to quote my biggest concern for the future is our peace. Like recently, we have seen Russia invading Ukraine and China crossing the Asian borders. So we have encountered a lot of geopolitical tensions lately, and also there have been talks regarding diplomacy, solving also China invading Taiwan. That is also one of the concerns in the current economic scenarios. So, as per a recent historian, the probability of World War III in the next 10 years is close to 10%, which is very high. In this crisis kind of an environment, we as civilians don't get affected much, but our army people at the border are very much affected. They go on to this on a daily basis. So I would encourage you all to contribute some of the amount that you can to the deceased army members, which can be done by Bharat TV app, which I have done myself. I would encourage all of you to do it as well. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, I think it was a good speak. I think he tried to explain in his way what exactly is necessary for the future. If someone asks me what exactly I'm concerned about, I feel that I'm here to improve my communication and presentation skills, and I'm more concerned about it. In the future, I will be like I would like to get a best speaker award or something. That is what my concern is, and I'm working on it. Okay, moving on to the next topic, and I would like to request anybody from the guests. Yeah. Okay. Topic for you is laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah, hi all. Good afternoon. So as they say, laughter is the best medicine. I think we all agree to it. So these days, like at least we are like under stress all the time. So even when you just give a call to a friend and then you laugh and then all your stress level actually comes down. Or you go and watch a comedy show and in the middle of your work when you're fully stressed out and then you go and watch a comedy show, then your stress comes down. So at this stage of life wherein we are all throughout the day we are under stress at work or at home and everywhere. So I think it is really good to have some kind of some kind of activity or some kind of conversation wherein you can get some good laugh so that your stress level comes down and you can get that again you can get that break to again reshape yourself to work. So yeah.
Great. Even we agree with that. If you wanna enjoy life, we should also focus on other stuff as well. We should try something else. Okay, moving on. Let's see if someone from virtual mode would like to try.
Best Akshara, would you like to try?
Yes, Akshara.
Shravya, would you like to try? Hello, Shravya.
Sure. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah. Is it possible for you to turn on the video as well? Great. Yeah.
Okay. So Choya, topic for you is the most important lesson of my life so far. Topic for today is the most important lesson of my life so far. Over to
you. Most important lesson of my life. I don't know. I think it is. I don't know. I couldn't recollect anything as of now. This is what happens when I go for spontaneous speaking. I'm very good at talking normally, but when it comes to spontaneous speaking, nothing strikes me. Yeah, over to you, Table Master.
No problem.
Great try.
Great try. Okay. Anyone else?
Mohammed, would you like to try? Akshara, yes, Akshara, are you there? Hello? Yes, Akshara, can you hear us? Or anyone? Prabhjot, would you like to try?
I would actually love to, but right now I'm on the move, so I'll not be able to present myself clearly, and I might face audio issues as well.
No worries. Thanks for the input. Yes, Mohammed, would you like to try? Anyone from the members would you like to try online mode? Sagar, Toastmaster Sagar, would you like to try?
Yes, Chandrashekhar.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Sagar.
Great, Toastmaster Sagar. So topic for you is discipline is not a bad word. Topic for today to you is discipline is not a bad word.
Okay. Discipline is not a bad word. Discipline is not a bad word. For example, if we now we are attending the meeting. In this meeting, we have followed all of us follow discipline. Means it is related to our timer and our evaluator rules, all these things. So discipline is not a bad word because it is required to maintain a keep silence and follow our meeting rules and all these things. If our Toastmaster the Chandrashekhar is speaking and someone comes and disturb him, at that time he is totally blank because of the he break the rules. That's why discipline is not bad words. Means maintain our proper silence and all these things. Meeting is a proper way. That's why discipline is not a bad word in my point of view. Means it is required to all of us. For example, recently Indian government launched Agnipath scheme for most of the peoples in Bihar, and a lot he is not following the disciplines. This is the one scheme. If you want to protest us against against this scheme, at that time you follow rules, proper rules. If you are not followed, then it is impact to our whole nation. Means nowadays they are directly means they are protest against in without disciplines. That's why it is impact to our nation wealth. So that's why discipline is not a bad words. Thanks.
Great. Even I feel that in Toastmasters we are like making sure that we are on time. We are making sure that we are going in a flow, and we are trying to maintain the discipline as well. Yes, for us it is also very much important. Okay. Next speaker.
Do we have any volunteer?
Volunteer.
Yeah, Abhishek is there. So Abhishek, okay. Go ahead.
Abhishek.
Yes. Have I audible?
Yes. So topic for you is manners matters. Topic for you is manners matters.
Okay, thank you so much, Master. Yeah, I think the manner really matters because 3 points. First is that although we are really successful in our professional life, we have a lot of skills in our we have learned throughout our college and schools. But do you think that it is possible to work with that only? No, because practically in our company, we don't just work alone. We work with a team. With a team, that means having a bond, having a connection, and working together. And when working together, you need people. You need to trust each other, and that's when manners come into the picture. If you have good manners, then everyone loves to work with you, and at the same time, you can work towards the success. So first is the professional life. You need manners. Second is the personal life. In the personal life, we have our friends, our family, but it is said that our family and friends will be there. But is that always? We need a good support from their side. Not only we need to get support, we need to support them. We need to understand what is the social dynamics and culture, and that's when manners come into the picture. Third point, manners is not just only about speaking, it's about how we behave in the society when we help others. Let's suppose we meet a stranger. How am I treating that person? Am I helping that person? In our Toastmasters meeting, again, we have so many guests and members. We meet a lot of people, but we stay a family, a Toastmasters family. How do we treat each other? That's when manners come into the picture. And to be successful, I think manners matters a lot. With that, I hand over to our table master.
It was a great speech, I would say. I think you covered everything. Okay, I think that was it for today. I would like to call Toastmaster of the day.
What an amazing session it was. I really enjoyed listening to all the table topics. So now I would like to just confirm from the timer that whether all the speakers are qualified, and she can share the timing report as well. Over to you, Toastmaster Tulsi.
Yeah. Thank you, TM Modi. All the participants have qualified for today's meeting, table topic session. TM Venkatesh took 1 minute 37 seconds. Guest Guru took 59 seconds. And TM Abhishek took 1 minute 30 seconds. Guest Shravya 42 seconds. TM Shagar took 1 minute 24 seconds. And TM Abhishek took 1 minute 41 seconds. So all of them are qualified.
Thank you so much. So, as all the speakers are qualified, we will be having the voting for all the speakers as well at the end of today's meeting. So now it's time to move on to our next segment. But before we do that, I have one more interesting game to play. But for that, I need more people on the stage. So I need at least 2 volunteers. So can I have Toastmaster Nilesh? Toastmaster Prasenjit, would you like to also come? And Toastmaster? 2, 3 also is fine. 3 is also fine. Yeah. So Toastmaster Nilesh, Toastmaster Abhishek, you also come. 2, 3 is also fine. So yeah. Just make sure that everybody is audible and visible. So you 3 will stand on one side. So this game is more like a talk show. So a talk show where each person can speak only one word at a time. So I am the what we can say the podcast, the talk show host. I will be asking them the question and they have to answer those questions, but they can speak just one word at a time, and the next person has to continue with that word and not taking too much of time. So for simple example, if I ask you, what is your name? But in not that like my name is, and that's how you have to continue the answer. So these are our experts. So I want someone to tell us like in this thing they are expert on, so that I will be asking them questions. So anything that you think they are expert on, it could be anything. Any suggestion from the audience? Yeah, Mayur.
Playing cricket.
See, all 3 are just one person. You have to understand that, not different.
That's fine. Cricket is.
Okay, so cricket expert. So these 3 are just acting as a one person. They have to just sing, and let's see how this intro game goes. So today we are on our bi-weekly podcast show. The name of the show, as you all know, what is your problem? So the question that I want to ask, like, what is your problem with the current Indian cricket team?
They are doing good, but that doesn't help.
Okay, let me move on to the next question. Why do you think Virat Kohli should retire now? What is that?
I think. So he can play for another year.
Great. But the book that you have published, Wonders of Cricket, in that you have written one big ass paragraph saying that why should Virat Kohli retire and why should Dhoni again come back in the team? Can you please explain us on that behalf?
I don't think. Because it's Virat Kohli. Sure.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for just trying the improv game with us. The motto of the improv game is not to give the correct answer, but just to make it more funny, make it more improvisation. So thank you so much for coming on the stage. So now it's time for the evaluation section. Now I would like to call upon the stage the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Mayur, to proceed further ahead in today's meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. So now let's come to how speakers have performed today. So to act as a first evaluator, we have someone who is by profession product marketing professional, and if I have to list his hobbies, then he loves. I would say everyone knows that he loves watching cricket matches and listening music. So I would like to welcome Toastmaster Venkatesh for evaluating Toastmaster Prasenjit's speech.
Toastmaster Mayur. What are eloquent speech Toastmaster presented that has connected me to a Cone's age of demonetization. It's a great way, I would say, to connect the audience by narrating such a demonetization story. You started your story by saying that I was just sitting relaxed at home at evening with a glass of wine, and my friend called me. Have you seen on the television, Mr. Modi is announcing something, addressing to the nation, which has connected me to those days. I was thinking, yes, where I was that time. It was 8th November 2016, and everybody knows that the Modi starts his speech, Mitro. So I was just thinking what you are going to say next. Then it's a great way of adding humor, I would say. You said a black money. Black money doesn't mean that it is black in color. You said black is not visible. It doesn't mean that it is visible to Mr. India. It's a great way of adding humor to your speech. You explain a lot of benefits of, tracking those black money, why people doing that black money and how it flows and all. It's very informative and very insightful. But coming to the engagement of audience, you ask a question to audience. Has demonetization happened ever before? It's a great way. People might not be attentive, but when you ask a question, you can grab the attention of audience. That's a nice way, and I would like to applaud you for all those things which you have shown today, and really it is remarkable and commendable. However, to take your speech to the next level, I have a few recommendations. That is a character playing. When you said that your friend has called you, there was a chance of playing character, saying that my friend, I was sitting relaxed at home with a glass of wine, and my friend called me. Hi, Prasenjit, have you seen a television? Mr. Modi is addressing the nation. So there was a chance of seeing playing some kind of a character in your old story. At the same time, there was a chance of playing a vocal variety because I found you to be a monotonous while delivering a speech. So to have that, you would have played those characters in such a way. Black money, what black money? Black doesn't mean that it's black in color. What is meant by black? Black is not visible. Black doesn't mean that it is visible to Mr. India. So those vocal variety or a voice modulation can create a great impact in the audience. But overall, it was a great speech. It was a humorous. It was an audience engagement, and you connected to the audience. Thank you. Over to you.
Wow, what an evaluation. That's how Toastmaster Venkatesh is at best. So now let's move on to our second evaluator. So to evaluate the Toastmaster Abhishek's Ashutosh speech, we have someone who is by profession SMD Tech Analyst, and if I have to talk about her hobbies, then she loves dancing and singing. So with this, I would like to invite our second evaluator, Toastmaster Swati, to evaluate Toastmaster Ashutosh's speech.
Toastmaster Swati, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but we are not able to see you clearly.
One moment. Yeah, are you able to see me?
Yeah, I think there is a blackout or thing.
No, just slide that.
Slide it. Now it's working.
I think now it works. So thank you so very much, General Evaluator. My target speaker, Toastmaster Ashutosh, took up the topic, communicate your style. The first step which you learn in the level 2 speeches is how to identify what your communication style is and how you can improve it layer by layer, step by step, and give it foundation by foundation. Toastmaster Ashu, wonderful job in comparing your friends and giving them the nickname of each and every character of each and every communication style you saw, like supporting, intimidating, and demanding. So, wonderful job on that. I've seen so many people giving speeches on the communication style, but this was very unique. Comparing your friends to each and every style of communication and coming with an example is a lovely way of presenting and giving enhancement to your speech. And you totally did justice to the first part of the objective, that is enhancing your communication style. And apart from that, I could see like you have a great confidence on the stage, and you even use the whiteboard, which very few, I think now it has turned offline, and we need to get used to these terms like using the whiteboard and using the pen. So awesome on that, because a good speaker always uses the resources which are nearby to him in order to elaborate or to enhance his speech. So good part over there. And secondly, the way you started your speech, that was absolutely nice because you introduced what the objective of your speech was and how you have to go through it. So great job on the introduction, great job on the examples, and great job on the conclusions. So awesome three. So I give you these 3 points enhanced your speech a lot. But in order to take your speech to the next level, I would like to give you a few serious steps which can enhance your speech, as right now you are in the level 2. That is first thing. You know, though it is a hybrid meeting, you know like you're facing a camera. So always look into the camera, because at few points I thought like you were looking into somewhere else. You were looking into the side, upside down. You weren't looking straight in the camera. So you need to understand like on one hand, you're facing the audience who are in the classroom, and on the other hand, you're facing the audience who are on the online. So